So at the end of my last video, I talked about the Mii costume theory, and I said that my next video I'd go really in-depth with what that is all about, barring any unforeseen news or information or something that I'd rather do a video about. Well, I really need to stop promising what my next videos are going to be about, because I think every single time I've done that, that has not been the subject of my next video. Something else comes up, and that still holds true here. I still plan to do a Mii costume theory video, and I'm not going to say this is the next video, I'm just going to say in the very near future. So if you're looking forward to that one's still coming. If you're wondering what the Mii costume theory even is, the last like 5 or 10 minutes of my last video is all about what that is. But something happened that I'd rather talk about today, and it is coming from Sakurai himself. So over on Twitter, Sakurai wrote this, and this is a rough translation of the Japanese, and it says, although the topic of Chrono Trigger has increased somehow to TL, this stage, which was in everyone's post of SSBSP, was interesting. Dragon Tank. Now, if you haven't played the game Chrono Trigger or are fairly unfamiliar with it, this might be a little confusing, but basically Sakurai is saying a lot of people have been talking about Chrono Trigger lately, and he has retweeted a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate stage builder built custom stage that is a mock-up of a boss battle from Chrono Trigger, the battle with the enemy Dragon Tank. So this seems pretty significant to me, as I really haven't seen Sakurai retweet any custom stages yet, and here he goes retweeting a mock-up of a battle from the game Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is a Square RPG from the Super NES days, and obviously there's been a lot of talk about us getting a Square rep as one of our DLC fighters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If we do get a DLC fighter from the company Square, most people have been thinking it'll probably be Erdrick from Dragon Quest. I've been saying that, I've talked about that in a ton of videos, or at least some character from Dragon Quest really seems to be the front runner as far as a possible Square rep goes, but it is possible we could get Crono. Now, some people have said Sakurai tweeting about Chrono Trigger is like deconfirming it, in the way that, when other characters have been talked about by their companies, that kind of deconfirms them. Well, I will say, I think Sakurai talking about something is a special case, because it's totally up to him. Smash is his game, and if he wants to hint at something or reveal something in a way like that, that's entirely up to him. So I don't think Sakurai is beholden to a non-disclosure agreement in the same way that workers for other game companies and stuff like that shouldn't really be talking about that character in Smash. I feel like Sakurai can say whatever the heck he wants, and yeah, it could go either way. So obviously the question is this just Sakurai tweeting about Chrono Trigger because he liked the stage and people have been talking about it a lot lately, I guess? Or is this a hint that Chrono Trigger is coming to Super Smash Bros.? Well, Sakurai also did this very strange tweet back in November where he had a commercial for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and he posted a video of it playing in reverse. This video was posted over on the official Japanese website for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Sakurai linked to it in a tweet, and it seemed like this was some sort of hint at something. I mean, it was very strange to play the commercial in reverse. One theory was that it could be pointing to Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is all about time travel, so having something playing in reverse, having a character that maybe has time travel abilities, could be something that Sakurai was hinting at here, so Chrono seemed to be the frontrunner if that was the case. If that tweet was a hint, then now we have a second hint hinting at Chrono Trigger. So 2 tweets from Sakurai that could potentially point to Chrono Trigger as having a character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, one of our DLC fighters. It's starting to pile up a little bit more than just one tweet. Now, obviously, not everything Sakurai tweets or everything Sakurai does is a hint at a character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'll remind us all of the chairs in the background of that one direct, and everybody was talking about the purple and yellow chairs and how that could be Rayman, that could mean Skull Kids in Smash, that could mean Spyro's in Smash, that could mean Shantae's in Smash, Waluigi's in Smash, and those purple and yellow chairs seem to have not come to fruition at all. I don't think any character matched that. And then there was also this tweet about Rathalos fighting some characters in the arena, and it was at an angle that really looked like it was Golden Sun, and obviously we did not get Isaac as a playable character. I will say it is possible that Sakurai was hinting at Golden Sun, and he was just hinting that Isaac is returning as an assist trophy, as Sakurai seems to be more happy about just, what series actually get represented in any way in Smash, whereas the fans are way more all about, a character becoming playable or not. So this may have been a hint that, hey, Isaac's coming back as an assist trophy. So maybe this was a hint, I don't know. But sometimes hints, or things that the fans think are hints, turn out to be nothing. However, conversely, back during Super Smash Bros. 4, Smash Wii U, 3DS, whatever you want to call it, when Greninja's trailer was shown, people said that they saw Pac-Man in the clouds, and of course we did end up getting Pac-Man. Also, Sakurai put up this image online, and it's just a bunch of figures on his desk, but it has Dark Pit, and it had Charizard alone without Pokemon Trainer or Ivysaur and Squirtle, and eventually we did end up getting Dark Pit and Charizard alone. So it seems like sometimes things can be hints towards characters in Smash. So is this new Chrono Trigger tweet actually a hint towards Crono in Smash? I don't know, but it is interesting that Sakurai is tweeting a custom stage. I haven't really seen him do that, and is talking openly about Chrono Trigger, a game series that does have the potential to get into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. People have been talking about Crono, so yeah, that could be something here. I don't know one way or the other. This is very similar to the stage that they showed in the trailer for Stage Builder and everything that had a witch. It was like a stage that's just this green witch, and it looks a lot like Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm kind of thinking maybe that could be a hint towards Banjo getting in Smash. I really don't know, but since Banjo was already pretty likely, yeah, it doesn't hurt Banjo's chances. So again, it's really hard to say one way or the other if something's a hint or just a coincidence that it kind of fits a character. PushDustin of SourceGaming translated what Sakurai was talking about over on Twitter, and if you haven't checked out SourceGaming, by the way, go check out their YouTube channel. It's great, awesome channel for Nintendo stuff. So PushDustin wrote this. As a translation of what Sakurai said, he wrote, "On my timeline, there is a lot of talk about Chrono Trigger today. I really enjoyed this user-created stage in Smash Ultimate, Dragon Tank." PushDustin goes on to write, "Note, there is a lot of talk about Chrono Trigger because of the Famitsu poll. See here," and he posts a link to this poll that Famitsu did that apparently Chrono Trigger won. Okay, so with a better translation, it seems that it's possible the only reason why Sakurai retweeted anything about Chrono Trigger was because it won this Famitsu poll. So that might be all that's going on here. It might have nothing to do with getting Crono as a character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Of course, it certainly doesn't hurt Crono's chances. Vergeben talked about 7 possible square reps, 7 names that he had heard about. Those names were Erdrick, Luminari, Slime, Sephiroth, Geno, Sora, and Crono from Chrono Trigger. So Crono was always one of the possible names that leakers had heard talked about. Square apparently puts out a bunch of different names to try to stop people from being able to leak who the character actually is. Like I said before, the frontrunner has really been Erdrick, but it's possible that Square has just put out a bunch of names, and maybe a bunch of leakers have heard Erdrick from their sources and stuff, but hey, it could be somebody else. Potentially, it could be Crono. Now, personally, I absolutely love Chrono Trigger. I'd be totally ecstatic if Crono got into Super Smash Bros. Crono is the type of character that I really just, over the years, never paid too much attention to because I didn't think he had that much of a shot to get into Smash. I was totally shocked when we got Cloud, for instance. So Geno's always been the character Geno's my #1 most wanted character. Obviously, my #1 most wanted Square rep. But my second most wanted Square rep would probably be Crono from Chrono Trigger. If I had a choice of who could get in the game and it wasn't Geno, I might choose Sora simply because so many people like Kingdom Hearts, and Sora's like a close third behind Chrono, so I'd be happy with either of those characters, and I feel like Sora would maybe make more people happy. It'd be really huge to get Kingdom Hearts in Smash. But for me personally, I actually think Chrono takes the edge over Sora. Chrono would be probably my second most wanted Square rep. While I still think Crono definitely has a shot to get into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'm still leaning towards Erdrick being our Square rep and probably our next fighter, probably the fighter who is codename Brave in the data for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There's just a lot of stuff going for Erdrick, or at least a Dragon Quest fighter. The leaker Tansa, who correctly predicted Cloud in Smash, so that's predicting a Square DLC character, is saying a Dragon Quest fighter and probably Erdrick, so I have to kind of go with that. I still think Erdrick is probably in and probably our next fighter, but I would love to be wrong. I would love to get Crono instead. Crono has appeared on quite a few leaks in the last few months or so, none of which are all that compelling, many of which seem totally fake to me, so, I didn't really make a video on those, but there was one leak that I did talk about, and I'd like to go over that again. It was the leak that correctly predicted Joker was going to get in Smash. So this leak came from 4chan. I'm just going to go over it real quick. It says, a Square Enix rep, I'm not sure which one, but they have mentioned Crono from Chrono Trigger, and Neko, but I believe it's supposed to be Neku, from The World Ends With You. And then it says a Sega rep, more specifically an Atlas rep. My source claims is Joker from Persona 5, which is exactly what we got. This was also posted back in November, so this is before Joker came out. And then a Microsoft rep, although I don't know anything more about this one, just that my source had heard the name of Banjo-Kazooie, and Banjo is looking fairly likely. And then they end it with Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses and Sylix from Metroid. I talked about this in my last video, and I'll definitely talk about it more in the Me Theory video I'll eventually make, but I'm kind of thinking that we're probably just going to get all third-party characters for the DLC. I'm sort of leaning towards there not being any first-party Nintendo characters, and obviously this leak is talking about first-party Nintendo characters with Fire Emblem and Metroid. So yeah, I'm leaning against this one. It kind of reminds me of the leak that predicted Richter in Smash. That one had Gardevoir and Gothitelle, and obviously that one didn't come true. So yes, this one did guess Joker. It does have Crono on it, and we now have Sakurai talking about Chrono Trigger. So hey, this one's still definitely in play and everything. Could happen, but I'm kind of leaning against it. But it's interesting. It's interesting it talks about Crono. And then just one final thing of note, because I'm talking about potential Square reps as DLC fighters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Disney Plus, which is going to be a Disney streaming service that's going to come out, I think in the fall, was talking about how they want to be on the Switch. So a lot of people talk about what is Nintendo and Disney's relationship. Well, apparently Disney does want to reach out to Nintendo and get that service on the Switch. Obviously, that's their streaming service. They probably want it to be on as many consoles as possible. The Switch is doing really well, and this does sound like they don't have this deal worked out yet. But I do want to highlight it just because I know a lot of people want Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and obviously that has Disney ties and everything like that, and people are always wondering if Disney would play ball with Nintendo and Square to get Sora and Smash, and yeah, that's a little something going for Sora there. Alright, so that's that for this video. I will do that Me costume theory video. I don't want to say it's going to be next, but I will do it eventually here, hopefully pretty soon. So what do you guys think about that tweet? Do you think that it's significant because Sakurai is talking about Chrono Trigger? Do you think it's a hint towards getting Crono in Smash? Or do you think it's probably still going to be Erdrick? Or do you think we're not even going to get a Square rep? Personally, again, I'm still leaning towards Erdrick, but I would love to be wrong here because I'm a huge Chrono Trigger fan. So if you have any comments about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, leave a comment below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. Really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.